Hello there! And I bet you're wondering, why isn't this part 2 of the Rainbow Warrior thingy? Well, the thing is, I'm still working on it, I'm refining the little textures, and I'm procrastinating, alright? Let me procrastinate. And honestly, it's taking me a while, and I just decided, I need to post something, at least for the week, on the channel, so that you guys get something to watch. But yeah, here it is. The video. Welcome. Today I'm just gonna show you how to actually make the things that I made on my animation for my music channel. And yes, I do have a music channel. You can check it out. Links in the description down below. But if you actually want to learn how to do the little animation, obviously it's not a good animation, it's not a perfect one, but it looks good and that's all that matters. So let's quickly switch to Blender. And here we are, this is my little project file. Also, yes, hello, we're finally doing Blender stuff and actually showing stuff. I'm sorry, a previous video was just kind of a generalization of what I generally do. But here, I'm going to actually show you how I actually made all this stuff. So first of all, I did not make this grass. I did not make these trees. Quite literally, the trees were made by a completely different team. I will leave a link down below of the direct download for them. Handle yourself from there. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, you can just download this. If you just know what you're doing, you'll know what you're doing, In general, this is the little tree that I got from that little tutorial that I followed. So the tutorial I followed for this, let me just quickly do Control-Alt-0 so that the camera is facing this way. The reason why it's like that is because these leaves are set to actually follow the camera. So every time that the camera moves around, these leaves move around to face the camera. But again, the tutorial I followed was from this dude right here. If you want to end up with the trees and the grass, make sure to follow his tutorial. He teaches you most of the stuff on how to, make it. But there's a few things that he didn't quite particularly look at. And that particularly one, if we click on the tree and go to our node, so go to geometry nodes, you might have followed his video and you might not know what the heck you're doing. Honestly, I understand nodes are some it is good, but at the same time, who in the devil made this? It is like the most confusing thing to use, man. But here, I made this into a geometry node group. To do that, you just select everything and just do Control G, and it turns it into a group. Honestly, it's pretty cool. And if we just do tab here, we can go inside of the group. So what I did here is I made all of these little things. This is the little tree add-on that I downloaded. It's the one in the description if you ever want to just make a simple tree. And this is the thing that connects the shape to this. So that's how you end up with the leaves on top of the tree. If you follow the dude's tutorial, he'll show you how to do it. But let's continue moving on. So I basically connected them like this, but he did not show his settings for the tree. So I'm gonna do that for them. So in his anime styled tree tutorial, he doesn't particularly show this right here. So these are the settings for the leaves. Pause if you want to copy them. These are the settings for the branches. Pause if you want to get all the settings. Like I said, I won't say it again. So yeah, you get it, all right? These are the little settings for, let me put this full screen. These are the settings for the canopy. I at least use these settings and it looks good. These are the settings I use for noise. And these are the settings for the trunk. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this, he does not show you how to do this in the tutorial at all. You're just kind of left to your own devices and left to just guess what actually makes your tree look good. And honestly, it was kind of a pain, but eventually I did get it right. Now, in the tutorial, he does actually point this out particularly, but it took me a while to actually acknowledge what he was talking about. So first what he does, he shows you how to go into this, like you just press tab on that, and he tells you to uncheck pick instance. Afterwards, he tells you to basically go out of that, just pressing tab again, and click on this little thing, and he says something like just delete the thing or just mute it. Now, obviously, since I know how to use node groups for the most part, I understood, oh, I have to mute it. But it took me a while to understand that, so I was like, okay, he just told me to delete it. I didn't understand for the most part what it was about until I finally learned, oh, when he meant mute it, it's just pressing M on it. So you're just supposed to press M on it to mute it, and that makes it so that your leaves and your trunk are separated afterwards. So if you had that issue, that's how to fix it. Just select this thing, press M on it. Alright, after that you just press tab to get out of it, and then it should work. So then it just shows you how to connect it to this thing and this thing. Usually that's just following his steps, you end up with the same product. But he never really shows you how to change the color of your leaves. He just acknowledges and thinks, oh, the people will just know what they're doing with the actual product. So what I had to do is, by just the knowledge that I got from what he did and from the knowledge that I've gained through using Blender, through some sort of freaking black magic, I went to the shader editor. I also grouped up all the like shader. I just went through it, and through the knowledge I gained through watching his videos, because he has several tutorials, especially the one with the grass, I learned a lot with that on how to change color. This right here is how you change the color of your leaves. So if you ever want the leaves to be like a slight blue, or like have bloom on them, or be really white, you can change that. I'm just going to do Control Z because I don't want that to change. The other thing is changing this right here. This also changes a few values. You can right click to reset it. But the one that I saw that actually changed the color was this one. So this right here lets you change the color of the tree leaves to anything you want. So let's say you wanted them to be like a pink purple. You do this. You wanted them to be a very vibrant green. You change it to like this. There you go. But if you don't want that and you want the like blue you want, this is the settings that I used for like the nighttime view that I needed. And I just kind of matched the color that I have for my grass here. And the grass is the same thing. All I did was scroll through the shader editor and just change the colors physically here. Because unlike the leaves here, the colors for the grass, pretty simple to set up. The colors for the leaves, it is pretty complicated because you have to do some weird math stuff. And the reason is because you're literally kind of changing the colors of a base texture. If you're curious what the base texture looks like, the base texture is like a very vibrant green, like this. So yeah, you gotta mess around with it, make it look good. Now, my problem here, and I was kind of struggling with this, honestly, I'm not fixing something that ain't broke. Yeah, the colors are flipped. So the texture is kind of flipped upside down for some reason when I imported the grass texture into something else. But since it's a nighttime scene, it just kind of worked, and I kind of stylized it, so yeah. But you'd basically have to remake the grass from zero and just import it into your scene. So yeah, you have to deal with that. Now, my little knight here, he doesn't have the right materials, but let's quickly apply his little cartoony materials. For that, let me just quickly give him his materials. So we're gonna just go through and just give him his Toon shader colors. So if you want to give something a Toon shader, first you gotta apply it. So right now this is the orange Toon shader that I have. All I did was grab the color right here. So this is the base color. And I just copied the principal.bsdf of the color of the armor. And I dropped that right here. And all I did was I changed it to a lower tone. And I changed it to a blue. So as you can see here, this is orange. All I did was just move my mouse like this until it met with the blue. And I ended up with like a bluish like color for his like rusty armor or whatever. Right here, bronze. We can change that to bronze 001. Dark nettle, which I'm pretty sure I meant to do dark metal. Dark nettle, I just change it to this, and there you go. Now we have that Toon shaded color. Armor, we can just change it to armor here, and there, he starts looking stylized. It's as simple as just going to the new material. So if you ever want to make a new Toon material, first of all, do Control-C on the Toon shader. Also, this Toon shader is also from that YouTuber. He does really cool stuff, and this Toon shader is honestly really nice. I like how it works. I would leave a description in the link in the description down below, but all I have to do is just leave his channel. It's mostly tutorials, so yeah, there's not really anything bad about it. He also shows you how to pack it up and how to import it. So yeah, this is how you, the Toon shader, do Control-C on it. He also shows you how to make it on new materials, but I'm just gonna show it again. So you just make a new material. Here, I'll actually show it with a different thing. So let me just do Shift-A, Mesh, Cube, G. We'll do it with a cube. We are gonna do a new material. We're gonna call this block, I guess. Yeah, let's just call it block. There we go. We're gonna call this little dude block. We're gonna go to this shader editor. We end up with this. Disconnect that little bugger. There we go. Now he no longer has a material. We do Control-V here, and we just eyedrop the color from here. And since it's a nighttime scene, I'm gonna make it slightly blue. There you go. And this is just like the base color of the material. We just connect that to surface, and bam, the Toon shader be working. It's pretty pog. Honestly, it's pretty weird how that works. If we just grab our little thing, we go to armor. You can see I have the base color here, and then like a darker color. So we gotta do that here. So we got our base color, which is white, and then like a darker color right here for the shadows. So this right here is the Toon shadow. This right here is the base color. So then you end up with something that looks kind of like this. Right now it's receiving light from this, but if I were to move it up so it's not receiving any other light source, the like little Toon shader makes it look like this. But yeah, that's how you apply a Toon shader to something different. Let me just delete this. There you go. And the Toon shader for this, I got it from BlendKit. Honestly, BlendKit is a godsend. It is your best friend. Make sure to install the BlendKit add-on. Just search up BlendKit on Google. You go here to File. You go here to, or not to File. You go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and click on Install. Then just search for the file. Click on it. It installs, and it make sure you have it check marked right here, like BlendKit Online Asset Library. And then what you can do is just go here and save preferences, right? Also, if you want my settings, like for example, you'll see that when I do tab on an item, it lets me go into edit mode, object mode, weight paint, all this stuff. If you want that, go to edit preferences and then go to input, do emulate 3-button mouse, then go to navigation. You can change it to this so that you can infinitely zoom and there's no like limitation. Then go to key mapping and change it to tab for pie menu and extra shading pie menu items. And that should pretty much be all of it. That's how I put my settings. I'm just gonna save preferences here and close this. But once you have BlendKit open, if you want to search a object, so like a complete model, you just click on this thing and you search for something like, let's say, apple. There we go. I just literally searched for an apple. If it doesn't appear, just switch like this and then switch back, and you should end up with like little models. You'll see that some of them have like a locked icon. To not get that, you just go here and do free first, and this should only give you free models. Honestly, these models are nice, so if you ever need a model for like a game or something, or just something that you're making, these are completely free and you can just use them. I want apple pie now. But if you want a material, so for example this Toon shader, so you just search for Toon. There we go. And this should give you like several materials that are like Toon related. There's this one, Toon Magic. There's this one, Toon Fire Orb. This one I like to use for like a more artistic look. There is a lot of stuff. There's this Toon Wood. So if you just search Toon, you end up with a lot of cool materials that you can use for your thing. The one that I started off with using is this one, which is Eevee only. But you can feel free to go through and choose whichever one you like the most. A lot of these are cool and you just don't have to make them. But yeah, if you're ever looking for a cool Toon shader, oh, here's the one I used. Yeah, it's this guy. So yeah, just search cartoon shader and you should end up with something like this. And I used that one for my like music video. But yeah, the other thing, and this is from another video, and I was just searching how to make a Studio Ghibli thing, like the trees in the backgrounds, and this is what I ended up with. There is a tutorial on it. Literally just search how to make Studio Ghibli background trees, and you should end up with something looking like this. Honestly, it's not too complicated. Just follow what the guy does. It's mostly shader editor for the look, so this is what he did for the shader editor. Really simple, but when it went down to the other stuff, it's mostly handled with modifiers. So right here he just did like 2 different modifiers, and this right here has a crap ton of other modifiers applied to it. Now I've always wondered what this actually looks like. Okay, yeah, no, it has nothing in node groups. I'm pretty sure you could make this with nodes way better, so you can do that too. But in any case, that is pretty much everything. I don't really think I can explain anything else. When it comes down to the animation, it's pretty simple. It's just animation at that point. Like I'll make a whole video on how to animate stuff, or just comment down below if you actually want to see that. If you guys want to see me or show you how to actually rig a model, that is a definite one I'm gonna do. I'll do a tutorial on that, and I'll do a tutorial on how to actually add materials to your model, how to prep it for like game exporting. Like I'll show you how to rig a model, and then I'll do another video on how to prep it for exporting for video games, and then I'll show another one to where I show you how to prep it for anything else, I guess. But yeah, that's all for today. Leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new, alright? And if you want more tutorials, or you want to know something in particular, like let's say how to model a particular thing, leave a comment down below, like I said. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.